Everyone, it's Alexis Cardoza.
What's up, everybody? It's the Wild Rhino Clark Connors from New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I am here getting wild, drinking an 805.
Hey, this is Billy Starks.
Rip F and Bison. I ran out of booze.
Join us because we're drinking at Moe's. I am the fire starter, the Carney Killer. I am born to die, Jake Christ.
This is Bobby Olson. We're drinking at Moe's. You better hit like and subscribe.
All right, everybody. Want to thank Reaper Apparel for having Drinkin' at Moe's be a brand ambassador. They encourage everybody to break out of that comfort zone, live their best self, which, hey, that's what got me starting the podcast. But they got great clothing, great apparel, t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, hats, all that good stuff. Be sure, link will be in the description, and use the code Drinkin' at Moe's to get 10% off your order. Let's fucking go.
All right, everybody. Drinkin' at Moe's, my 2 cents. We got the topic for today. We're calling it Young Guns. Highlighting some of the young talent out there in the pro wrestling business. But before we get into all that, as always, YouTube, like, subscribe, share, comment, all the good stuff for the YouTube, as it helps with that pain in the ass algorithm where most places you can find your audio podcast. But all right, let's get right into it. You got the notes for this one, so I'm taking your lead here.
Okay, so and a lot of people will say the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear Young Guns, Roxanne Perez.
Ah, yes.
And because of the fact she's on WWE, everyone now knows her story. Plus, thanks to Booker T, her trainer, is the commentator.
Yep, and the fact that she, got her start on his independent promotion there, Reality of Wrestling.
Mm-hmm. I could be mistaken, but she was actually their women's champion, which I believe they call the Diamonds champ. She was actually their champion when she graduated high school.
All right.
Like, there was a picture that went around where it showed her in her cap and gown, and then the very next picture, she's in her gear with the championship over her shoulders. So it's like she graduated high school, defended the title that same day.
Very similar to a person that we'll be talking about a little later, I imagine. But yeah, no, Roxanne Perez, great talent. I mean, I was a little disappointed with how they ended up taking the NXT women's title off of her. Mm-hmm. That was a little like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, she legit has the anxiety issues. Mm-hmm. I mean, hell, I know I deal with that stuff myself, but I mean, she can go. She'll get back out there. They'll figure out something. Because I mean, hell, Reality of Wrestling women's champ. She was the Ring of Honor women's champ.
She was the very first Ring of Honor women's champ.
Yes.
Now, and on that they had a Ring of Honor women's champ, and before that they had a Women of Honor, which apparently they had a belt for that too. And then someone goes, "Oh no, that was back when Maria was the CEO of the women's division."
And she had her hands in there for. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she had her hands in there for a lot of the women's wrestling for Ring of Honor, and I mean, I believe last I heard she's actually taking on a bit of that role now in the Tony Khan era of Ring of Honor. So hey, that's awesome. I mean, she has a great mind for that. She has her own promotion. Damn it, I'm trying to remember the name of it, but my friends out at Warrior Wrestling have actually had some involvement with that promotion. I'm trying to remember the name of it. But we're on Roxanne Perez.
Mm-hmm.
She's already done so much great stuff. She had that amazing match with damn it, I am trying to remember the name of her, but she was the
last
NXT. Well, I mean, there was that.
The weapons free match with Blair Davenport.
Yeah. But then I was actually thinking of way back to the match where I think it was shortly after that the anxiety issues came to light, where she fainted after the match with the former NXT UK Women's Champion.
Okay,
I'm trying to remember her name.
Yeah, that name escapes me too.
Yeah, it's escaping me right now. But it was a great match, and I mean, already at such a young age, not only having the experience on the promotion like the with the stature of Ring of Honor, and then now you're with NXT and WWE and getting that exposure. There's only up for her right now.
Oh hell yeah!
Now, who else do you got on this list?
Well, who was the one you were talking about earlier?
Billy Starks.
That's the same one I got.
The photo that I was talking about was actually, I believe, not a graduation one, but I believe was prom, where she had her.
Where she's standing there holding her arms out, and she's got all her titles.
She's got all the titles, and she's about to go to prom. Yeah, that's when you mentioned with Roxanne Perez. That's where I saw with Billy Starks, and I was lucky enough, to have her on the podcast for an interview, and actually ended up getting to meet her at, I believe it was Wrestling Revolver, Sammy Callahan's promotion. It was a scramble match, which I'm trying to remember the other people that were in it. I wanted to say another person that was actually a former guest on the podcast, JD Griffey, who was also in that match. And I'm trying to remember who some of the other people were, but yeah, got to actually meet her in person. And it was a pretty great match. And I mean, now she's there with Ring of Honor. She's had a string of great wins. She's actually even now in a story with the Ring of Honor Women's Champ, where she's a minion or whatever, but like an unwilling minion, albeit from judging from the videos I've seen.
Right.
But I mean, she's going to be able to sit under the learning tree of Athena. She's already got loads of talent. She's been on fire for a while. The sky ain't even the damn limit for her.
And like with both with Roxanne and with Billy, while they were in high school, they were wrestling.
Yep.
Roxanne Perez would go around in Texas, and she would get that experience, but she'd always come back down home to reality wrestling. And I'm pretty sure Billy Starks would do the same thing.
Yep. No,
And by the way, I did notice this. Billy Starks would be wrestling, and she also was keeping a 4.0 grade point average.
Yes, very smart girl on top of that. I don't know if I would have been able to do it. I mean, hell, high school, I was struggling, working my ass off just to pull off a C average. So trying to keep a 4.0, I don't think I was able to consistently pull off a 4.0 average until I went back to school after the Navy. And I think I had a 4.0 average clear up until like some of my last couple of semesters there. But even then, I don't think I went below a B, and I ended up with like a 3.7, 3.8.
That's not bad.
So, yeah, not bad at all. But, 4.0, pulling that off in the middle of the schedule that she was keeping, even going over to Japan before she graduated high school. I mean, god damn, I talk about people in wrestling being a machine with some of the schedules that they keep. Billy Starks was every bit of that. And I mean, still is.
Oh yeah.
All right, you got another one. I think we talked about another one.
We did. Nick Wayne.
Ah, yes, Nick Wayne getting
And,
there.
and the thing is, what I've noticed in doing my research, all three of the people that I chose started training at the age of 13, picked up a trainer around about 16 years old, and look where they're at now.
Yep. I mean, hell, Nick Wayne signed his AEW contract before he even graduated high school, before he turned 18. And I mean, there was that stipulation that he couldn't actually start until after.
He had to be 18.
Oh yeah. But now look at him. He's already in a pretty high profile storyline there with Darby Allin against Swerve and AR Fox. I mean, they got a match here.
Well, the thing with Nick Wayne and Swerve goes back to their Defy days.
Yes.
When Nick was 16 or 17 years old. And if you've seen any videos of where Defy does their shows, it's a small little amphitheater, like a high school gym. And there's a video where Swerve is actually holding Nick Wayne's head up, pointing at his mom. And he's like 16, 17 years old. Now, if you don't think that they're going to try and carry that over into AEW, come on now.
I mean, I'm wanting to say they kind of, in certain ways, have already done that. Do that whole story where they broke into the garage where they were training and left them bleeding. They're already kind of leaning towards that. So it's going to be interesting to see where that goes. I mean, I want to see him have all the success in the world, obviously.
Oh hell yeah.
I'm hoping they don't push him too quick at it, kind of,
ease into it.
Ease him into it a little bit. I mean, he's already had tons of success. He's actually still a reigning GCW tag champ with Jordan Oliver. So, I mean, it's not like he can't handle the bright lights, the big situations. I don't want to see it, too much too quick, getting there on like national TV. So hopefully, and then, I actually had a story of, a lot of people, some here Midwest, more out West Coast will definitely remember this guy. But Ryan Kidd, great talent, doing amazing things. Mexico, I believe he's been over Japan, but all over the West Coast. Actually, one of the promotions that got me started watching independent wrestling, SoCal Pro, shout out to them. He is part of their current tag team champions. I remember my first ever independent show. I sat down front row and didn't realize this at the time, because I think he might have been starting training, but he was, just there in the crowd at the moment. But boom, right next to me, there was Ryan Kidd. And, I'm trying to remember how old he was at the time, but he was in his teens, a little scrawny at the time, but goddamn, he's bulked. He's not.
Is he bulked up?
Not bulked to like obviously like Brian Cage levels. That would be nuts. But no. He's definitely put on the muscle. He's definitely done a lot throughout his time. But again, one of those young guns that got started early and has only been doing amazing things ever since. And I'm trying to think of who brought this up, that it's like, if you get the idea to, get into wrestling. And if I believe it was one of my questions that I always ask in my interviews is best advice for anybody wanting to get into wrestling. And one person actually recently said, no matter just get out there and do it. No matter it, don't let anybody tell you you're too young, you're too old. If you got the idea and you think you want to give it a try, get out there and do it, especially if you're young, because then, good Lord, you only got time. You got all the time in the world to be improving. Oh, yeah. And those examples, Billy Starks, Roxanne Perez, Nick Wayne. I mean, you can even put, I believe, I'm trying to remember how old Jordan Oliver is, but I mean, he got started relatively younger, and all of them, Ryan Kidd, all perfect examples of getting started young, getting out there, and now look at where they all are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I have much else for this topic. You got anything else to add before we get
no,
going?
This was a quick one.
This was a relatively quick one, but I like to think that eventually we'll have different topics where we'll highlight people that we're confident in, people that we feel we've had the topic of underutilized or underrated. We don't want to say that was a lot of these people,
right?
But people we want to put a little extra spotlight on.
Yeah,
definitely. Well, anyways, that is about all I have. Thank you for another night of, we've done a few different recordings, but it's been fun. Our first episode is actually already one of the most watched My 2 Cents videos up on YouTube right now. So
really, last time I checked, that was at 14.
Oh, last I checked, it was at about 52.
Oh,
so we're getting up there. We're getting up there.
So word of mouth. I've been selling it to everyone I know that's wrestling fans.
Sweet. The more the merrier. I welcome it. And before we go, like we've mentioned before, if you got a topic you want covered, by all means, put it in the comments. Message the show's Facebook page. Let me know. We'll definitely get it covered, and hell, we'll even shout you out and put you in the damn description of the audio and video versions. But anyways, that is about it. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.